Wherever you sit on the electric fence that is zero-emission motoring, there's no question that the I-Pace is a watershed moment for Jaguar. That would obviously be the case if the new model was merely the firm's first all-electric car. However, the fact that it is also very likely to be the first premium SUV sold without a combustion engine is potentially an even bigger deal. True enough, the Audi E-tron is expected to follow it into showrooms very quickly, and Tesla's growing fanbase could justly point to the Model X's established market position, but the latter, with all its falcon-door silliness, is not really an SUV in any conventional sense, and beating Ingolstadt by any margin, given its superiority and resources, is a notable win for Gaydon. Obviously, being first is not really justified regardless of the exertion if the item isn't right, and in such manner the I-Pace's fundamental insights make for convincing perusing. Imagined as an EV from the beginning, the car sits on a bespoke aluminum engineering which is asserted as Jaguar's generally unbending. There's an electric engine on every pivot giving four-wheel drive and a greatest yield of 400 horsepower and 513 pounds-ft of torque, impressively more than is afforded the most capable F-Pace. Gaydon says that converts into a 0 to 60 miles per hour time of 4.5 seconds, equaling the new Range Rover Sport SVR, and a best speed of 124 miles per hour, in spite of a din curb weight from 2,133 kilograms, i.e. completing someplace altogether north of there in reality. Whatever the last figure, it is circulated 50-50 and with a focal point of gravity 130 mm lower than in the F-Pace. The undercarriage is involved front two-fold wishbones and a back fundamental connection, Jaguar's favored suspension setup, and optionable with air, prompting some aspiring cases about the car's ride and taken care of, as well. All of which plays second fiddle to the genuine electric car clincher, which is, as ever, the range you can hope to accomplish in certifiable conditions and the measure of time you'll need to sit tight for the batteries to energize. The uplifting news here is that, as per Jaguar, the I-Pace's 90 kWh lithium particle battery, reserved between the axles and 432 pocket cells, is fit for conveying up 298 miles of usable range, and will charge by 80 for each penny following 45 minutes. Indeed, even with the standard admonitions, both those numbers are genuinely striking. Up to is a basic piece of the stating while examining all-electric range. However, the I-Pace's claim is in any event in view of the new WLTP test cycle, which should be somewhat more stringent than the old NEDC one, where it obviously accomplishes more like 340 miles. That is huge in light of the fact that the Tesla Model X 75D and 100D appraised as 259 and 351 miles, individually. While that doesn't really mean superlative things for this present reality, the Model X's range can be made to venture off a bluff on the off chance that you drive it strongly up a motorway for an expanded time frame. It is in any event proposed that the I-Pace is all around arranged to blend it with the present class Pioneer, and that is significant for its planned achievement. Same the capacity to quick charge when not at home. This number 2 requires some qualifying. You'll get 80 for every penny following 45 minutes when associated with a 100 kilowatts DC rapid charger, which aren't precisely pervasive in the UK at this time. Utilizing the more typical 50 kilowatts charger, you'll have to hold up 85 minutes, giving you plentiful time to pine for the 120 kilowatts superchargers that Tesla as of now gives at some motorway benefit stations. Home charging from a 7 kilowatts AC divider box takes 10 hours. While it isn't Gaydon's business to settle the UK's below-average foundation, the establishment of a 350 kW charging system has just started in Northern Europe. It will probably need to acknowledge the drawback of not contributing its own particular answer for the issue as Tesla has done. Luckily for it, Audi, and other expected direct opponents, should acknowledge a similar economic situations, or they will in the UK. On the mainland, the previously mentioned Ionity range is administered by a consortium of German car organizations. At first at that point, it will be the I-Pace's close to 300-mile go that you will hear trumpeted, or as the vehicle line director shouts in Jaguar's official statement, for I-Pace clients, fuel stations are a relic of times gone by, after overnight energizing they'll wake each morning with a full tank of fuel. Also, if that separation sounds more than adequate for your day-by-day needs, too it may, then there is conceivably much else to anticipate. For a begin, you can anticipate that the inside will feel curiously large. With no ignition engine to suit, the Lodge has unmistakably been presented, freeing 890mm of legroom for raised cityweight passengers, who clearly won't have a transmission passage to battle with. Gaydon has additionally outfitted it with a massive measure of new tech, including the new Touch Pro Duo infotainment framework that appeared on the Range Rover Velar. And in addition, coordinating with Amazon Alexa, should you want to ask your I-Pace regardless of whether it has enough range for you to get the chance to work when you're not really sitting in it. The car additionally guarantees to be the first from Jaguar that will refresh its locally available programming over the air, which is likewise exceptionally Tesla. Purchasers will likewise be given the significant serenity of an 8-year, or 100k, battery guarantee, once they've confused up the £63,495 asking cost. For the record, that makes it over £10,000 less expensive than the section-level 75 kWh Model X, a car substandard compared to it as far as cited range and execution. Following its show uncover at Geneva 1 week from now, we'll discover at the appointed time regardless of whether the I-Pace is meriting the consideration that is going to come to pass for it.